Good morning, guys. I want to do a quick little video about the LMX64, and today what I want to cover in this little video is just how I found the easiest way to remove the battery, because sometimes it is a bit fiddly, and the battery is 4.5 kilograms, so it is quite heavy to actually take out. And I just want to give you guys also a tip of what you can do to or add to the battery that does make quite a big difference to allow you to take it out. Because the nice thing about being able to take the battery out is I can then take the battery out of the cold air, because it's 0 degrees outside at the moment. It was -2 last night. Now it's not as cold as other countries, but for the UK that is quite cold, and keeping a battery in that cold conditions, and if you want to go out for a ride the next day, it does make the battery not perform as well. So be able to take the battery out, store it inside the house where it's nice and warm, about 19-20 degrees inside the house, and also be able to charge the battery inside the house so it keeps it nice on a nice temperature. And then when you want to go and ride, you then pop the battery back in, and you have a warmer battery to start your journey with. I was even pushing this bike out of the garage this morning. You can actually feel the grease on the chain was so stiff that I had to go and ride it a bit just to loosen or warm the grease up. It's really interesting to see how grease and stuff reacts to cold weather. So this is the one thing I want to cover, is to show you how I take the battery out. The other thing I want to also show is what I found with the trip computer, and how to clear the trip and reset the trip counters and stuff. And then I'll just give you an overview of the bike and what I found with the 2-3 rides that I've actually done on it. So let's get started with the battery, and I'll show you how I take the battery out. Okay, so the bike is nice and clean. I've used a chain wax on both chains, so doesn't splatter all over the place. And it's also like a white lightning wax that seems to be working really nicely. So just to have a quick look at the battery, that's the battery indicator. You press and hold. So hold it down, battery switch off, and hold it again, and it powers online. There's no further indication on that side, so we're going to power the battery off. Boom, there's the key. When you buy the bike, you should get a set of 2 keys. I'll just show you how that looks like. So that's a set of keys, and you can see there's a small little lock on the inside, and you basically insert and turn it to that side. But the thing is, it's spring loaded. So what I found is, if I leave it like that and then push the battery from the bottom upwards, because it's on a rail here on the inside, there's a like a slotted rail. So if you push the battery up, then it sort of puts tension on the key, and then you can turn the key like that, and then the key will stay there, and then you can push the battery further up so it's unlocked. Okay, so let me show you how I do that. I also wear thin rubber gloves. It's like workers' gloves that I bought for like £2.50 at Halfords, just to get more grip, because this is super smooth, and to be able to get hold of the battery, because there's no place to hold on to it. You can't really get in there, and there's no really place here at the bottom as well. So I found rubber gloves works very well to actually get a good grip on the battery. The other thing that I did think of doing is to put like grip tape, like skateboard grip tape on here, that allows you to really grip the battery, because you don't really want to drop the battery, and it is smooth all over the place. So yeah, just maybe like a long strip of grip tape here, that will help. But yeah, let's get the battery out. Okay, just to show you guys, these are the gloves I'm using. I think they call it sight gloves. They're just super thin, but they are really grippy. So you still have the feeling to pick up like small screws and nails and stuff, but yeah, works really well. So let's start. So what I do is I leave it like that, and then I push it up. See, now there's a bit of tension on the key. Here we go. So it's up. Put the key somewhere, and then pull the battery out the bottom, wiggle it out, and then you twist it to the one side, and out it comes. There's the battery. So this is the bit that locks into the battery, and there's the connector. And then just make sure when you take the battery out, sometimes you can press the little button, just hold it again, power the battery off. Okay. And this is how the connector, or the slide mechanism to hold the battery down, looks like on the inside. And yeah, you can see all the scuff marks here. So it's always good to all cover this whole battery area with one of those neoprene socks that Stag motorcycles sell, because it makes a humongous difference to keep the battery firstly warm, but it also keeps the battery clean and dry from any dirty stuff running on the side. Okay. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll fit the battery again. Make sure the battery is nice and clean on both sides, and then it's going to be the same way back in. On its side, slide it underneath the cable, keep it as high as possible. It twists in, and then you push it right up to the top. Push it down so it's as far as it can go down to this tube, and then you slot it in. And just make sure that it's not powered on. Okay, and there's it, done. But yeah, these gloves make such a big difference. And just to show you guys, this is the cover that Stag motorcycles sell. It's a neoprene cover, and it's nice and rugged and strong. And how this thing fits in here over that hump. You can see it's nicely shaped. It covers the motor here at the bottom, and then you just fold it in. That's it. And really the benefit is it keeps the battery warmer, and it also protects it from any grit and moisture that comes into the side, especially in the winter. Such a good idea. And I think they do sell it, and if it's not on their website, just mail them to see if you can get some of it. But yeah, awesome idea, brilliant brilliant extra addition to keep the bike, firstly everything nice and clean and tidy. Okay, so now I've showed you how to remove the battery and reinsert the battery. I've also showed you this battery cover and protector. There's also this massive mud hugger. Now, as far as I understand, this mud hugger is not the, I think this is the medium. You even get a longer one that comes out to about here. It sort of is equal to the size of the tire. Now, I used this bike the last time, and it was yeah, you know, this mud guard helped a lot, but I think even if you go longer, it will be even better, because I think the chain also kicks up a lot of dirt, and was most of the time on my left side. So can also be worth to see if there is a cover for the chain, but I don't know. But yeah, definitely worth it. It's called the mud hugger, and it comes with all the kit. This is like thick like 3M tape that you wrap around your this downstay here, and then you use zip ties to actually tie that down. Yeah, definitely worth it. So let's quickly have a look at the computer. So for the computer, to reset the trip counters, I couldn't find a manual, but I managed to figure this out. So you've got your power button, and you've got your menu button, and you've got the plus and minus. The plus and minus, you select your riding modes. It starts in neutral, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 with throttle, 5 throttle only. So when you power the bike on, you press and hold. That then boots the screen, and it boots the bike, so it's ready to go. And then what you can do is, when you press the power button again, it cycles through the top options like miles and this and that, the other. And then if you press the M button, this then cycles through the second row of information, like for instance your trip and so forth. And to clear that, I found, is if you press the plus and minus, you hold them down at the same time, then that clears everything. So if someone ever gets stuck with that, then and that's how you select the trip, or select the settings on the top menu, and that's for the bottom menu. And then to clear, it's both. This is also a little addition, and it's just again to keep the moisture and stuff off of the screen. Well, okay guys, I hope that was helpful to someone looking at this bike. I couldn't get out this morning for a quick ride because it was just too cold. You know, it's like I went out, but after a while I was not. I didn't have enough warm clothing to keep me warm. My hands were busy freezing and whatever. So I will see if I can get out again. But otherwise, just a quick recap about this bike, man. I am really super impressed with the equipment on the bike, how it rides, how everything is put together, you know, the battery, the motor, you know, the chain drive. What I would probably do is, if you look at getting a bike like this, I would definitely not get the road version, because I don't really want to have to go through the licensing and registration, all that lovely stuff. I would just get the normal mountain bike version with the throttle. And then what I'll also do is, I've received quite a lot of feedback from the guys on the forum and on the previous YouTube videos, that they changed the chain to a belt drive, and that makes the bike so much quieter. And they've also been using it in like really sloppy mud and whatever, and they said it's been perfectly fine, because he says that if the belt breaks, you just put a new belt on. You know, it's way less tension, and I think the belt's also cheaper than the chain. I might be wrong, but I think that's what he said. So I would probably change it from the chain to the belt drive, because I'm not going to use it on the road a lot. I'm going to use it as a mountain bike firstly, and then secondly to use the throttle if I need to go and boost over routes and jumps and whatever. Okay guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any further information you require or you want to ask something, please drop it in the comments below and then I'll try and answer them. But thank you for joining, and I hope I see you on the next video. Cheers.